Lahore is the capital city of the province of Punjab, the second largest metropolitan area in Pakistan and 14th most populous city in the world. It is an important historical center in South Asia, with a rich history dating back over a millennium. Lahore is a main cultural center of the Punjab region and Pakistan and is the largest Punjabi city in the world. One of the most densely populated cities in the world, Lahore remains an economic, political, transportation, entertainment, and educational hub of Pakistan. Lahore successively served as the regional capital of the empires of the Hindu Shahi kingdom in the 11th century, the Ghaznavids in the 12th century, the Ghurid state in the 12th and 13th centuries, and the Mughal Empire in the 16th century. From 1802 to 1849, Lahore served as the capital city of the Sikh Empire. In the mid-19th and early 20th century, Lahore was the capital of the Punjab region under the British Raj, the traditional capital of Punjab for a millennium. Lahore was the cultural centre of the northern Indian subcontinent, which extends from the eastern banks of the Indus River to New Delhi. Mughal structures such as the Badshahi Mosque, the Lahore Fort, Shalimar Gardens, the Mausolea of Jahangir and Nur Jahan, Shoburja Gate, and the Walled City are some of the major tourist attractions in the city. Lahore is also home to many British colonial structures built in the Indo-Saracenic style, such as the Lahore High Court, the General Post Office, Lahore Museum, Lahore Railway Station, and many older universities and colleges including the University of the Punjab, Government College and King Edward Medical University. The Lahore Zoo, thought to be the fourth oldest in the world, is also situated here. Lahore is referred to as the cultural heart of Pakistan as it hosts most of the arts, cuisine, festivals, music, filmmaking, gardening and intelligentsia of the country. The city has always been a center for publications where 80% of Pakistan's books are published, and it remains the foremost center of literary, educational and cultural activity in Pakistan. It is also an important religious center as it is home to hundreds of temples, mosques, churches and shrines like Data Durbar complex. According to the latest 1998 census, Lahore's population was 6,319,000. In July 2014, Index Mundi put the population of the city at 7,566,000. An estimate in January 2015 gave the population of the Lahore agglomeration as 10,052,000. It is ranked 34 in the most populated urban areas in the world and the 8th largest city within the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. The area of Lahore has almost doubled in the last 12 to 14 years. Nevertheless, any population estimate should be taken with a grain of salt as the census has been missing in action. One is scheduled for 2016. In 2010, Lahore was ranked as a Gamma Plus World City. The Guardian has rated Lahore as the second best tourist destination in Pakistan after Taxila. History. Origins. A legend based on oral traditions holds that Lahore, known in ancient times as Lavapura, was founded by Prince Lava Orlu, the son of Sita and Rama, the king of Ayodhya and an avatar of the Hindu god Vishnu according to the Ramayana epic. The city of Kasur was founded by his twin brother, Prince Kusha. To this day, Lahore Fort has a vacant temple dedicated to Lava. Ptolemy, the celebrated 2nd century Egyptian astronomer and geographer, mentions in his Geographia a city called Labakala situated on the route between the Indus River and Palabothra, or Pataliputra mostly, in a tract of country called Kasperia. It was described as extending along the rivers Bidaste or Vitasta, Sandabal or Chandabhaga, and Adri or Iravati. This city may have been ancient Lahore. The oldest authentic surviving document about Lahore was written anonymously in 982. It is called Hudud al-Alam. In 1927 it was translated into English by Vladimir Minorsky and published in Lahore. In this document, Lahore is mentioned as a town being invaded by Arabic savages, impressive temples, large markets and huge orchards. It refers to two major markets around which dwellings exist, and it also mentions the mud walls that enclose these two dwellings to make it one. The original document is currently held in the British Museum. Lahore was called by different names throughout history. To date, there is no conclusive evidence as to when it was founded. Some historians trace the history of the city as far back as 4,000 years ago. However, historically, it has been proved that Lahore is at least 2,000 years old. Hai Yun Sang, the famous Chinese pilgrim, has given a vivid description of Lahore which he visited in the early parts of the 7th century. Lahore has been ruled and plundered by a number of dynasties and hordes. Rajput period and invasions. Lahore is described as a Hindu principality in the Rajput accounts. Ken Aikson, the founder of Suryavancha, is believed to have migrated out from the city. The Solanki tribe, belonging to Amlakara pattern, which included the Bhati Rajputs of Jaisalmer, point to Lahore as their place of earliest settlement. In 1241, Lahore was invaded by Chengiz Khan. Though Timur captured the city in 1397, he did not loot it because it was not rich then. Ghaznavid Empire to Delhi Sultanate. Lahore appears as the capital of the Punjab for the first time under Anandapala, the Hindu Shahi king who is referred to as the ruler of after leaving the earlier capital of Hind. Few references to Lahore remain from before its capture by Sultan Mahmud of Ghaznavi in the 11th century. The Sultan took Lahore after a long siege and battle in which the city was torched and depopulated. In 1021, Sultan Mahmud appointed Malik Ayaz to the throne and made Lahore the capital of the Ghaznavid Empire. As the first Muslim governor of Lahore, Ayaz rebuilt and repopulated the city. He added many important features, such as city gates and a masonry fort, built in 1037 to 1040 on the ruins of the previous one, which had been demolished in the fighting. The present Lahore fort stands on the same location. Under Ayaz's rule, the city became a cultural and academic center, renowned for poetry. The tomb of Malik Ayaz can still be seen in the Rang Mahal commercial area of town. After the fall of the Ghaznavid Empire, Lahore was ruled by various Turco-Afghan dynasties based in Delhi, known as the Delhi Sultanate, including the Khiljis, Tughlaqs, Mamluk, Sayyid and Lodis. During the reign of Qutb el-Din Aibak, Lahore was known as the Ghazni of India. Scholars and poets from as far away as Kashgar, Bukhara, Samarkand, Iraq, Khorasan and Herat gathered in Lahore and made it a city of learning. Under Aibak, Lahore had more poets of Persian than any other Islamic city. In 1286, Prince Muhammad, who was the son of Balban, was defeated in an encounter with the Mongols in the city. Mughal era. In the early 16th century, Babur, a Timurid descendant of Timur and Genghis Khan from Fergana Valley, swept across the Khyber Pass and founded the Mughal Empire, covering modern-day Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India. The Mughals were descended from Central Asian Turco-Mongols. Lahore reached the zenith of its glory during the Mughal rule from 1524 to 1752. Lahore reached the peak of its architectural glory during the rule of the Mughals, many of whose buildings and gardens have survived the ravages of time. Humayun, his son, married Hamida Banu Begum in Lahore while fleeing to Persia. It was also the headquarters of Mughal rule during Akbar between 1584 to 1598. Thus, along with Agra and Delhi, it became an alternate seat of imperial court. Akbar also held discussions with various Portuguese missionaries in the city. Abu'l-Fazl, his court historian, calls it a great city and buried in magnificence and populousness it has few equals. Afghan era. During the 18th century, as Mughal power dwindled, Punjab, including Lahore, was often invaded, and government authority was lacking. In 1747, the Durrani Empire was established by Ahmad Shah Abdali in Afghanistan. During this period, Punjab saw frequent invasions by Ahmad Shah Abdali. The great Punjabi poet Baba Waris Shah said of the situation, Khada Pitale Dar, Baki Ahmad Shah Haidar. Maratha reign. In 1758, the Maratha Empire's general Raghunath Rao conquered Lahore, Attock and Peshawar, and drove out Timur Shah Durrani, the son and viceroy of Ahmad Shah Abdali. Lahore, Multan, Peshawar, Kashmir and other subas on the south and eastern side of Attock were under the Maratha rule for the most part. In Punjab and Kashmir, the Marathas were now major players. In 1761, following the victory at the Third Battle of Panipat between the Durrani and the Maratha Empire, Ahmad Shah Abdali captured remnants of the Maratha Empire in Punjab and Kashmir regions and consolidated control over them. Sikh reign. During the late 18th century, frequent invasions by the Durrani Empire and the Maratha Empire due to the decline of the Mughal Empire led to a lack of governance in the Punjab region. The Sikh missiles were in close combat with the Durrani Empire, but began to gain territory and eventually the Bhangi Misl captured Lahore. When Zaman Shah invaded Punjab again in 1799, Maharaja Ranjit Singh was able to make gains in the chaos. He defeated Zaman in a battle between Lahore and Amritsar. The citizens of Lahore, encouraged by Sada Kau, offered him the city and he was able to take control of it in a series of battles with the Bhangi Misl and their allies. Lahore served as the capital city of the Sikh Empire in accordance with Lahore being the capital of Punjab. While much of Lahore's Mughal-era fabric lay in ruins by the end of 18th century, a close struggle to gain control. Rebuilding efforts under the Sikh Empire were shaped by an indebted to Mughal practice. Maharaja Ranjit Singh moved into the Mughal palace in Lahore's citadel. By 1812 he had mostly refurbished the city's defences by adding a second circuit of outer walls that followed the outline of Akbar's original walls, and were separated from them by a moat. The Maharaja also partially restored Shah Jahan's decaying gardens at Shalimar, and British maps of the area surrounding Lahore dating from the mid-19th century show that walled private gardens, many of them bearing the names of prominent Sikh nobles, continued in the Mughal pattern under Sikh rule. The Sikh court continued to endow religious architecture in the city, including a number of Sikh gurdwaras, Hindu temples and mosques. British Raj Maharaja Ranjit Singh made Lahore his capital and was able to expand the kingdom to the Khyber Pass and also included Jammu and Kashmir, while keeping the British East India Company from expanding across the river Sutlej for more than 40 years. After his death in 1839, the internecine fighting between the Sikhs and several rapid forfeitures of territory by his sons, along with the intrigues of the Dogra and two Anglo-Sikh wars, eventually led to East India Company control of the Punjab 10 years later. For the East India Company, the Punjab was a frontier province, because the region had boundaries with Afghanistan. Therefore, the Punjabis, unlike the Bengalis and Sindhis, were discouraged from using their mother tongue as an official language out of fear of nationalism. The British first introduced Urdu as an official language in Punjab, including Lahore, allegedly due to a fear of Punjabi nationalism. Under the British, architecture in Lahore combined Mughal, Gothic and Victorian styles. Under the British, So Ganga Ram designed and built the General Post Office, Lahore Museum, Atchison College, Mayo School of Arts, Ganga Ram Hospital, Lady McLagan Girls High School, the Chemistry Department of the Government College University, the Albert Victor Wing of Mayo Hospital, So Ganga Ram High School, the Haley College of Commerce, Ravi Road House for the Disabled, the Ganga Ram Trust Building on Sharari Quaidi Azam, and the Lady Maynard Industrial School. He also constructed Model Town, a suburb that has recently developed into a cultural centre for Lahore's growing socio-economic elite. Independence of Pakistan. Lahore played a special role in the independence movements of India. The 1929 Indian National Congress session was held at Lahore. In this Congress, the Declaration of the Independence of India was moved by Jawaharlal Nehru and passed unanimously at midnight on the 31st of December 1929. On this occasion, the Swaraj flag was adopted by the Congress. Lahore's prison was used by the British to detain revolutionaries. Noted independence activist Jatin Das died in Lahore's prison after fasting for 63 days in protest to British treatment of political prisoners. One of the most famous martyrs in the history of Indian independence, Shaheed Sardar Bhagat Singh, was hanged here. The most important session of the All India Muslim League, demanding the creation of Pakistan, was held in Lahore in 1940. Muslims under the leadership of Muhammad Ali Jinnah demanded a separate homeland for Muslims of India in a document known as the Pakistan Resolution, or the Lahore Resolution. It was during this session under the leadership of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the leader of the League, that Muslims League publicly proposed the two-nation theory for the first time. Post-independence. Upon the independence of Pakistan, Lahore was made capital of the Punjab province in the new state of Pakistan. Almost immediately, large-scale riots broke out among Muslims, Sikhs and Hindus, causing many deaths as well as damage to historic monuments, including the Lahore Fort, Badshahi Mosque and colonial buildings. After independence and its deep impact, Lahore, as so many times before, once again gained its significance as an economic and cultural powerhouse of the region, through government reforms. The Second Islamic Summit Conference was held in the city in 1974. Language and dialects. According to the 1998 census of Pakistan, Punjabi language is spoken by 87% of the population. Lahore, being the capital of the province of Punjab, exhibits a great variety of Punjabi dialects spoken by the people of different districts living in the city. Other languages include Urdu. Being the national language, is also spoken and understood by most of the population and primarily used as a second language. English is also understood and spoken by a sizable segment of the educated population. Minority languages spoken by people of different parts of Pakistan and Afghan refugees living in Lahore. Geography. Lying between 31 degrees 15, 31 degrees 45 N and 74 degrees 01, 74 degrees 39 E, Lahore is bounded on the north and west by the Sheikhupura district, on the east by Wagah, and on the south by Kasur district. The Ravi River flows on the northern side of Lahore. Lahore city covers a total land area of 404 square kilometers and is still growing. Cityscape. Lahore Fort. View of Badshahi Mosque from the Lahore Fort. An old painting by Edwin Lord Weeks showing an open-air restaurant opposite the Wazir Khan Mosque during the British Raj. Food Street at the Lahore Fort. Basant is a popular annual festival held in Lahore. Wazir Khan Mosque. Sacred Heart Cathedral. Islamic Summit Minor Charing Cross. Tomb of Jahangir. Anarkli. Food Street. Shalimar Gardens. Lahore is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Lahore Museum was established in 1865. Tomb for Allama Iqbal. Quaidi Azam Library. Wagah Border Ceremony. AC. Walna Statue. Minari Pakistan. Climate. Lahore has a semi-arid climate. The hottest month is June, when average highs routinely exceed 40 degrees Celsius. The monsoon season starts in late June, and the wettest month is July, with heavy rainfalls and evening thunderstorms with the possibility of cloudbursts. The coolest month is January with dense fog. The city's record high temperature was 48.3 degrees Celsius, recorded on the 30th of May 1944. 48 degrees Celsius was recorded on the 10th of June 2007. At the time the Meteorological Office recorded this official temperature in the shade, it reported a heat index in direct sunlight of 55 degrees Celsius. The record low is -1 degree Celsius, recorded on the 13th of January 1967. The highest rainfall in a 24-hour period is 221 mm, recorded on the 13th of August 2008. On the 26th of February 2011, Lahore received heavy rain and hail measuring 4.5 mm, which carpeted roads and sidewalks with measurable hail for the first time in the city's recorded history. Civic administration. Under the latest revision of Pakistan's administrative structure, promulgated in 2001, Lahore became a city district, and was divided into 9 towns. Each town in turn consists of a group of union councils. Administrative towns: Ravi Town, Shalimar Town, Wagah Town, Aziz Bati Town, Data Ganj Baks Town, Gulberg Town, Simanabad Town, Iqbal Town, Nishtar Town, Lahore Cantonment, Shadra Town. Localities. Other major residential areas within Lahore include neighborhoods. Lahore's old city fabric has changed dramatically over time under the occupation of various South Asian empires. Some of the older remaining colonies of Lahore